Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. As promised, I'm back with my daily journal entries of even date. It's currently 3:22 p.m. on the 24th of March 2024. So 2 videos today, but I got enmeshed in describing the events from my beautiful dance last night. So I thought I'll split it up into 2 different categories, and that way it's not such long videos in one go as I've been in a habit of doing lately. So I'm conscious that it's probably a bit annoying, but if you stay through my videos, even the 3-hour ones, it means you're gleaning something valuable from it, I hope. Otherwise, otherwise it's all a waste of time and energy, which I hate wasting time and energy, because my energy is precious, people. Every individual's energy is precious. So, anyway, today's memories from the 24th of March 2024. Charlie. I entitled it The Kindness of Little Children During the First COVID Lockdown. It was actually quite delightful. I'll show you the photo. Here's my front gate with my copper sign I made that says Sacred Space with a khamsa for protection. Khamsa is the hand of Fatima. You know, it's a Middle Eastern protective device. And I write, no hawkers, no proselytizers. A proselytizer is someone that peddles their religion at your door. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any hatred or scorn towards Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses, but I just like to give them the heads up that I don't want them banging on my door, because I have my own relationship to God and the gods and the multiverses, and they're never going to convert me, people. I am a Jew and a heathen and a witch. So I try to have that bit of a warning at the front gate, but you'd be surprised how often they still trundle up my door anyway and give it a good go. Bless them. Anyway, I also write, no psychic vampires and no trespassers. And you'd be surprised how many people still feckin' trespass as well. But I don't get violent about it. I just think they either can't read or they really are that obnoxious and demonic. But on the obverse of that sign, because I'm yin and yang and dark and light and contrary-wise like that, I have carved into it, true, authentic love, welcome here. So for the last 4 months or so, I actually had the sign flipped over to true, authentic love, welcome here. More out of a sense of mischief and curiosity to see who comes with loving intentions. Wow, it's been a bit astonishing. I even had, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, some lovely new neighbours come and bring me a loaf of bread as a expression of their true, authentic love. They didn't know me from Adam, but it was a very charitable and sweet and kind gesture. So, true, authentic love is out in the world, baby boys and baby girls. Don't you ever forget it. But I usually have my thorny Sabra cactus protective device out the front, declaring to the neighbourhood, sacred space here. Don't come with your psychic vampirism and your bullshit and your violence and your acopism and your crazy ways, because you'll be coming up against the Tanya on sacred Aboriginal land, let us never forget, and also the place where I reside that is heavily protected by my energies. So people are welcome to come to visit me on my land and my home here, but don't bring your crap to my door, just saying. Had a long history of that, false friends and malicious people, and those types are not allowed through my front gates and will get given short shrift. I'm not always love, light and high vibration. Sometimes, if it's called upon, I can be a warrior goddess, berserker bitch too. But anyway, having said that, I've lived in this home now it'll be 21 years on the 5th of May. Nearly 21 years. And I haven't had any major trouble from the neighbourhood, just a few nasty, gossipy, judgy, McJudgy attitudes, which over the years those types of people eventually went on their way and moved out, because scum never stays in one place for very long, people. That's a cosmic law. People who are vicious and slanderous and nasty, eventually the universe just sloughs them off or moves them on. So I've been here for 21 years, living peacefully and very isolated at times, apart from my dancing in the weekends when I do mix with the general public. But this home and land are very much sacred space, and it's beautiful and it's magical and it's spiritual and it's delightful. Delightful. And I'll share again this photo. During the first COVID lockdown, the little children down the road, I made friends with a family that had three lovely little boys who actually in their own way were quite gifted little psychics. The youngest one, Winston, I said to his mother, you're going to have to be very, very, very cautious with this one, give him a little bit of extra attention. I said, apart from the fact that he's the baby in the family, I said, your son is a gifted little psychic, and if he doesn't grow out of it, he'll need to manage it into adulthood. And she just looked at me in astonishment. But here they made little signs for me, and little love hearts with flowers. Take care of yourself. Don't forget love, I think he wrote there. Isn't that gorgeous? And I can't quite read that now. Let's have a look. It's my handwriting. I put a reply to their little pictures they left for me. And I wrote, thanks, kids. Don't let the world of adults don't let the world of adults don't let the world adults have created crush you down. I meant that quite sincerely, because there's nothing like adults gone rabid and mad, like with the COVID epoch, to completely crush a child's spirit, creativity, vibe, pleasures in life, and even their education got interfered with. Evil is what it was. What else did I write here? Keep believing in magic. Love is happiness. Love, Mama T. So, of course, everyone in the neighbourhood already thinks I'm the resident loop-the-loop, and I don't mind at all. I'll have my love with my truly loving ones, the little neighbourhood children, who I do miss those little boys. They moved away. They weren't scum. They just moved away eventually, but they were lovely. They were lovely little boys. And I've got little neighbour girls down the road that, used to visit me regularly, and I visit them fairly often because I go and play with their golden retriever dog, Rosie. But I don't see them as often because the parents work all the time and they're busy, and time is precious with your children. And, by the time you do homework and housework and cook meals, people are exhausted. So I try not to turn up to their doorstep uninvited too often. When I do, I usually try to time it when they're at work, because they invited me. They said, come and play with Rosie anytime you like, because she gets lonely and bored on her own while everyone's at school and at work. So I occasionally break up the day by going on my walk around the block, and I have little, playtime with Rosie, usually 10, 15 minutes. And Rosie's always extremely ecstatic to see me, like little Coco. And it's delightful and lovely. And I did it more regularly and as a practice during the COVID insanity, actually just as much for my benefit as for them, because the world had gone just so rancid and rabid. I wasn't coping that well with it. So it was lovely to go and visit my little dog friends and my neighbours and have a cup of tea and a break in the day, and just have that sense of community when we were being utterly terrorised as a collective. So never ever forget, people, what we've been put through. And as that Aboriginal woman said to me, it was a non-event and nothing compared to growing up in a mission. That may be her experience, but I'd been traumatised enough in my life to know when shit was going down and that it wasn't quite normal. So, I stand by my opinions on that. Anyway, I titled that photograph Little Friendship Notes from the Neighbourhood Children, which meant a lot to me because I don't have grandchildren, and my younger daughter was already many years estranged at that point of time, and my elder daughter was getting a bit flubbery and not having much to do with me even a few short years ago. Who are you talking to, Charlie? Are the king parrots here? So anyway, it was a period of kind of trauma activation and loneliness, and thinking, oh well, both my doctors, my psychiatrist and my GP at the time told me if I get COVID, I was guaranteed to die. And, it was a fear-based thing, and there was a lot of bone pointing going on. And given my health is precarious most of the time, I did worry that I might die. But as the gods decreed, I didn't catch COVID till last year in October 2023. And by then, COVID had transformed itself into a far less dangerous, life-altering event. So I was perfectly fine. I was protected and nourished and soaked in love from the neighbourhood children by the gods, as per usual. And it's delightful, although at times a bit confronting and astonishing. But anyway, it's all very, very good. Just got my neck's still a bit tender. I didn't do any full moshing last night, so it's still tender from the night before. But I'm not complaining. I do this to myself quite willingly. And one day, if my head falls off, just remember me when I was wild and free and happy. Truly. 24th of March 2023. Today I was kept busy doing washing, stripping my bed linen, hanging out washing. Then I cleaned out my tiny laundry, which was getting impossible to walk into. It took me several hours to sort everything out. Oh, dear goddess. It was a big achievement, actually. Then I scrubbed old tools that had gone rusty. Then I got my brass tap holders. One is a duck and the other a rabbit. And I spent hours scrubbing those with with baking soda to no great effect. So I finally got out the rust converter and, hey presto, they came up a treat. I also cleaned the filter in my fish pond, which I do weekly. All day I was in quite a bit of pain in my foot and ankle with the arthritis. Tonight it is extremely painful. I usually go dancing on Friday nights, but I am in too much pain tonight. I missed out on dancing last weekend too, which I really resent when I'm so unwell that I have to skip dancing, because I really enjoy it and I feel stymied and oppressed and just pissed off in general on the weekends when I'm too ill to dance, because it's just another opportunity of being out in the world with live music and being surrounded by joyful people or dancing their dance. I don't like that opportunity being taken from me by ill health or any other factors either. Like when our arsehole government put a mandate on all the unvaccinated, and so I couldn't dance for 6 months out in public. Like it was just horseshit, the whole thing. But anyway, I'm back riding through my own psychedelic dreaming and my own showmaniac dancing. 2 nights last night. That was an achievement. My goodness. All good, I will heal or else get old gracefully and hang up my dancing shoes. I don't think so, not yet anyway. Although I've had to stop wearing high heels. It's too crippling on my feet and legs, and that was a harsh reality too. So I trot them out occasionally if I'm feeling really particularly mischievous and defiant and wanting to look sexy, but through summer I was wearing some nice flat sandals instead, which was a bit kinder to the leg joints and the feet, and you know, it's good when I stop torturing myself, really. 24th of March 2020. Trigger warning for atheists or other non-believers. My usual religious and or spiritual ramblings and prayers, which are my human expressions of gratitude for surviving this COVID paradigm and indeed my entire life so far. I was able to buy basic groceries at Aldi. So this was 2020, people, when the world absolutely went into some insane inversion, and it still makes no sense to me, really. No toilet paper, but they had almost everything else I needed. Pardon me. No price gouging like Woolworths either. It's bloody disgraceful. Plenty of stock. I was even able to buy cat litter. Pity about the loo paper, but I can survive even that, thanks to Lynn, who kept me a supply as long as she could. Thanks, Lynn. It was wonderful of her, actually. I'd say, oh, well, Lynn, I'm going to have to revert to wiping my ass with rags because I've run out of loo paper, and at that time I was too sick to go chasing around looking for some. She said, don't worry, I've got plenty here. She's been preparing for apocalypses for decades, people. She said, so she dropped me around a packet of toilet paper. I was like, are you hoarding toilet paper, Lynn? No, she says, I've been prepared for years. Wow, what a woman. The only intelligent woman in the whole of Brisbane, along with all the other preppers, who was actually prepared. I'm not prepared for anything because I lack the money to actually stockpile on necessary items and foodstuffs. It worries me, actually, how I live fortnight by fortnight by the seat of my pants and sometimes barely scrape through. It does worry me. But when shit goes down and I'm not scraping through, some of my earth angel friends like Lynn come to my aid, and Sally. So the answer to that is, people, always find the good people who have your back. They're out there and they're beautiful and motivating and encouraging and soul nourishing and loving, and they give you practical support when you need it too. So to all of those wonderful people, my earth angels in my life. I continue reading, I might be an ornery berserker anarchist in a zombie apocalypse, but my people who love me make sure I have enough provisions. Grateful, happy survivor to thriver here. Thank you to the gods, angels, and ancestors who love me for protecting and guiding me and showing me authentic love in these strange times. Blessed be in all manifestations, dimensions, parallel realities, and on this earth right now. March 24th, 2019. Crashing and burning, bad asthma attack. Oh well, I got through last week's ordeal, so I will get through this one, dear Goddess. I honestly don't know how I do it sometimes. It's actually quite astonishing. 24th of March 2018. So I had a little mishap as I sat on the grass intending to brush Bobo. He took off, and by the time I realised what the trouble was, I was bitten by dozens of tiny, angry, berserker ants on my lady bits and thighs. Oops. Fuck my life. Can it get any worse? So now I'm lathered in calamine lotion, pondering my pestilential nemesis with much bemusement. I have, rather painfully and intrepidly, brushed the dog on my couch and am pleased with the results. Need to rest a bit for the next adventure in the live wire zone, if my lungs allow it. Live wire was a live wire bar at the Treasury Casino where I danced for 12 years. That's all I have to say about that. Mama T was a loyal, intrepid customer for 12 years until they decided to shit on me. But it is what it is. Moving on, living my best life, free of arseholery, is the best revenge, people. Happiness, true loving friendships, true love partnership one day, joy and delight in my being and in my evocations, convocations, invocations, is the best revenge of all. To those of you who love me anyway. 24th of March 2000, I have to laugh. I don't take it all so seriously, darlings. I really don't. 24th of March 2016, 11:05 p.m. I am home from a beautiful day with Lynn and Peter. They took me to the Cleveland RSL for dinner, and Lynn and I spent quality time in her pergola, which she has dedicated as her own sacred space. Yes, make somewhere some portion of your garden or home sacred to the gods of your understanding. It's very quite soul nourishing to do that, people. If you're of a spiritual, magical nature, you will get my vibe and why I advocate for that. Lynn did some energy healing on me, which was great. The dogs played together happily. This is when her dog Puppy was still alive, and Bobo was still alive, mind you. Bobo got a little too much for Puppy, so she will enjoy her rest tomorrow. Well, he was still a puppy at the time, and her dog Puppy was actually an old dog, so Bobo was a bit full on at times. He's like me. He's fully on or he's fully off. Anyway, my beautiful boy's no longer with us, so there is that. Lynn and I popped into the witchy shop in Capalaba. They had so much really cool stuff in there. I was pleased to see the new shop. It used to be at Capalaba Park. I'm thirsty. I'm going to have to go and get another drink. My throat's literally closing up. I shouldn't be thirsty. I've had 2 cups of tea. I guess that was quite some hours ago now. 24th of March 2015. I won't be drinking any more tea today. I'm cutting back on my tea because it's really messing with my bladder. I'm feeling very fragile indeed, actually. Even though Mama T was out in full femme fatale, full regalia, full glory last night, I am a bit fragile. Could do with a nice cuddle and some soul-nourishing, heart-centered intimacy. But, you know, calm my farm, Tanya. It is what it is. Have to laugh sometimes. 24th of March 2015. 2015 was one of the worst years of my life, and by the gods, I've had other years that were just as bad, if not worse, but 2015 was fucking woeful. Anyway, here I write, 5:29 p.m. I woke up about half an hour ago, 9 hours sleep. Not bad. I feel less exuberant and more muted, probably due to taking 100 milligrams of Seroquel to knock myself out. All good. I'm sitting on the back steps, enjoying watching my hens in the garden. Frida is broody and depressed since Mischief died. I really need to buy her a silky friend, as Tabitha and Elvira are twice her size, and beat her up. She still sleeps in her own coop, alone. It is not good for hens to be alone. They will die of depression, people. Chickens need other chickens. Except for Charlie, she's antisocial with all the other wild birds. She won't have a scrap of them. I did catch her talking to the boy birds the other day. Maybe, like her mother, she's a late bloomer. What do you reckon? No, no, not really. But she whistles out. I heard her whistle out to them earlier. You all right, Charlie? I know. I'm eating lactose-free ice cream that Crystal left for me, still in my nightie and dressing gown. My snooty neighbours are freaking out. I don't care. I do what I want, whatever. That makes them hate me even more. I raised my family, did the hard yards, and still some people resent my freedom. Motherfuckers. Smiley face. Which looks something like this. No, really. I am smiling on the inside. Just a little bit tired today. in a good way, because I had a wonderful time this weekend. I really did. Never mind, they have no idea of what I've been through or where I am still going. All I have is the now. It's beautiful being fully alive and present in the present. A gift. Sometimes I have to readjust my philosophy on living in the eternal now. Sometimes it's good to future think and be prepared for some kind of future you can't possibly have imagined. But as I said earlier, I don't have the funds to do prepping and have survival things stashed all over this house, because there's actually no room for anything like that anyway. That's the other problem. But if I get enough money down the track, I think I might start actually putting things aside, like, just basic survival prepping things, because even if you don't ever need it, it's good to have it there in the event that you do need it. Seems like a waste of money in the long run, but it's not. It'll be life-saving if you actually need it one day. And I'll have to start exploring, learning more about bush tucker and wildcrafting too, in case the event comes that there's no food available and we have to start gleaning wild weeds and plants in the forest, because that's an important life skill every child in Australia should have been taught, and they should have been taught, even white and non-Aboriginal children should have been taught bush tucker. The Aboriginal people survived in this country for 60,000 years, living close to and off the land without any of these modern contrivances we've had for 200 years. They had the knowledge, and that knowledge needs to be preserved and handed on to all Australians, actually, in the event, God forbid, a meteor crashes into the planet or a solar flare knocks out all our interconnectivity. We will need to know how to eat, how to fossick and gather food directly from the land. I know that's a dark and morose, thought, but as I say, even if you never end up needing to do that, it's a handy skill to have, if you're out camping and see some Davidson plum and it's Davidson plum and can actually eat it, and or whatever other kind of fruit and vegetables and edible things. So anyway, Mama T has spoken. 24th of March 2014. Home again from Crystal's place. I still have no feeling in my feet. Perhaps I left them on the dance floor with my shattered heartstrings now being glued and band-aided together for War of the Sexes next week. The eternal hunt for a real man continues. Or, as I used to joke rather in earthy ways, the hunting for the cunting. And then I would throw my head back and laugh and laugh and laugh. It is what it is, people. Here I write my personal holy grail. Wow, I never found a suitable sexual lover-man partnership in 59 years, so it could happen, but I don't set much store in it. So I'm just enjoying my beautiful platonic friends and the magic we create together with our music and my wild dancing, and the agape love that flows amongst us all and gets transmitted to the people in the audience or in the club or wherever we're doing fomenting our creativity. It's a beautiful thing, people. And I'm honoured and privileged and very grateful to have felt included in recent months. So thank you, my darlings. I really appreciate it. You know, I felt like I was struggling on my own for a long time and just kind of being condescended and patronised and, you know, sneered at. So it's nice to actually feel that for the first time in my life, people actually get my vibe and appreciate me, right? It's very, very sweet and heartfelt. Here I continue on. Oh, this is cute. I thought I had a suitor, but alas, another midnight Walking Dead stalker. Zombies love me. I used to be one. So they follow the permeating stench of death and formaldehyde, the ever more dying pheromones. Oh, my pheromones are doing pretty okay these days, people. I've seemed to have come back to life in the most astonishing ways. This was back in 2014. Wow, those were hard years. They really were. Falling in love with unrequited gimps will do that to you. Let me repeat. So they follow the permeating stench of death and formaldehyde, the ever more dying pheromones, and my signature perfume. But instead of the zombie I was, they meet she who is becoming increasingly more awesome in her final flush of zesty life force before decrepitude and perhaps also Alzheimer's. There is a history, darlings, creeps in. My mother died of advanced Alzheimer's, so it's something I'm a little bit terrified of getting, you know. It's a seriously awful way to die. I know, because I helped that evil, treacherous bitch of a thing, my blood, my mother. I supported her in the dying process for 18 months. Frankly, she didn't deserve a scrap of my love, which is why I understood completely how that young Aboriginal daughter felt when she said to me, I have a terrible mother, and I replied, I had one too. It is what it is, people. Here I continue writing. I might be a time fighter, a space captain of my own sinking Titania ship, an oxygen botherer, a vocalized banshee berserker, a light worker, a storyteller, and the penultimate fool, but I rather enjoy it. Oh, Charlie. This Viking shield maiden will love, and I don't mean that literally. I mean, I don't have swords and run around with shields. I'm talking metaphorically, people, as my metaphorical warrior goddess. This Viking shield maiden will love or die of love on my feet, yet to find a worthy male opponent, compadre, to thrust to my parry, rolls on the floor laughing. Actually, I have found several, but they are not capable of being with a woman like me, so I try to go gentle on them. It's my life. It's now or never. I read my cards tonight. The prospects for the future promise love, some travel, and lots of good stuff. We shall see what will be. Que sera, sera, cela. The angels in the crowd go wild and pee their pants, while the cherubim fall off their clouds, and Great Spirit is dry, wry, and holding all the aces as per usual. Excuse me. But I like the occasional pleasant surprise. Yes. Be'ezrat Hashem, by the will of God, I will flourish. Whips out the tablecloth in one quick flick, leaving the china tea setting in situ. Do not try this at home, kids. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. after only 4 hours sleep. I am exhausted physically, but mentally high as a kite. So this last hour I have spent dozing in and out of sleep. Grrr. I hate when that happens. Should have taken some Seroquel at 2 a.m. when I went to bed, damn it. I'm so glad I don't rely on that fucking awful drug anymore. It was awful, utterly awful. But of course I also don't sleep much anymore either. It is what it is, people. I let the girls out to forage, so they are quiet, but the sounds of a large dog barking and the morning bird chorus is keeping me awake. I don't want to get up yet, as I know my body needs rest, even if my brain is busy. Might as well make a cup of tea and read for a while. Let me just see, what year was that? 2014. And then there's a big jump to 2011. So they've deleted fucking things again, because there's no way I would have been silent for those 3 intervening years. Bloody vocal media, or bloody censorship bots, or bloody some malfeasance. Anyway, so it skips to 24th of March 2011. Lynn, quote from Lynn. Are Fridays good days for singing the song Stormy Weather whilst battling gale force winds and dodging lightning strikes? Smiley face. And I reply, this is why we're friends after 35 years. We're both a bit bonkers actually, but this is how we talk to each other. It's delightful. So I reply, any day there's a storm is a good day for singing Stormy Weather. I love storms. I usually go driving in them. Since my car got unreliably dodgy, I don't go out in storms anymore. This was my old car, by the way. I actually don't go out in storms anymore so often now. I think it's aging. I'm a bit more cautious about keeping myself safe. My lovers used to rub their hands together when the weather turned nasty, because it used to bring my most primal behaviours out. Lol. I have to laugh. The last fellow that was tuning me up on the internet between August and mid-December, he sloughed himself off, but that's okay. He was texting me, he go, there's a big storm tonight. Can you feel the energy, Tanya? I was like, oh, baby, can I feel the energy? I said, if you were here, you'd be in reasonable danger right now. He was like, I love storms too. I was like, yeah, nothing's going to happen, so we'll just calm that right down, which we did for a while. But it was cute. He was a bit of a lunatic like me, really. He was spiritual, but he used to message me, which used to freak me out because I don't like men being sleazy with me. But he used to message me like, there's a storm's coming and I've got a massive erection. And I just reply, oh, that's nice. Because like, when I don't know what to say, I just say, oh, that's nice. But anyway, look, he was a nice enough fellow, but he caught COVID and dropped off. He's not dead. He just dropped me like a hot cake. And it was just before Christmas and just before his birthday. So I took great offence at that. I thought, that's not very nice, is it? Not that I celebrate Christmas, but anyway, I've just realised he was a Sagittarius too. I found out my friend last night. My friend Scott's a Sagittarius. So there you go. Sagittarian men and I usually get along very well. So I don't know what happened to COVID guy. Anyway, never mind. I'm not holding on to that. I just find it all very academically interesting that we bonded over primal behaviours and wild storms. It's kind of cute, you know, kind of cute in a way. But anyway, Mama T is keeping herself safe. I nearly did go there actually with that maniac. I'm glad I didn't, but it was very close because he seemed genuine. He was talking to me for 4 months. But another man intimidated by my primal behaviours, my wild woman, warrior goddess, and by my wolf protector and my angel protectors. Well, I guess it sounds just too crazy. They don't realise that these things are real energies around me and are very, very real. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And as I said yesterday, was it yesterday when I made a video, I felt a presence step up behind me. I was telling my friend Jared about that. And he said, I wonder who that was. And I said, look, the way it wanted to butt into my energy as I was making a video for YouTube felt like my ex-husband who used to butt in on all my phone conversations. Every time I was on the phone talking to, obviously a woman friend, occasionally to Jared, since he was my only male friend at that time, but he would butt in. He'd start making comments and joining in the conversation, which is deeply annoying because he has no idea when you're on the phone what the other person's talking about. Oh, that used to grind my gears. That was one of the things that contributed to the demise of that marriage, actually. That violation of my personal boundaries and having some kind of, connections or friendships or, interactions with people outside of that union. So freaking controlling, couldn't even let me talk on the phone to people. So anyway, this entity that appeared behind me yesterday that I actually felt its presence quite astonishingly had that same kind of feeling of wanting to butt in or interrupt. So I said to my friend Jared, I said, I wonder if it's my ex-husband bloody bilocating. Hope not. I don't want him around me. Yuck. So I'm hoping it's not him. He's still very much alive, by the way. But my mother was a powerful bilocator in the last few years of her life too. And she began the death process. It was actually very, very powerful and very, very confronting and very astonishing what she could do while she was still alive. So I'm just kind of keeping tabs on it, because if it keeps happening, if I find out it's my ex-husband, I will be livid to try and invade my psychic space. But it felt like his kind of interfering. But it was interesting that energy stepped up behind me. In the video, you see me pause and go, like, actually react to it physically as if it was a living person had stepped up behind me, right? It was that astonishing. And you hear me say, oh, a presence has just stepped up behind me, but I'm not going to give it attention. I'll just carry on, right? As I often do. I kind of regret, I was too busy, I was in the middle of these videos, but I kind of regret that I didn't do my trance drumming and open up and try and find out who it is, because I'm curious now as to what they wanted. But they popped in, stood right up behind me, just as I was saying, love is the fabric of the universe, and Then I rambled on a bit more and I said, love is the law, and they're kind of, almost as a confirmation that they're acknowledging that I'm speaking to truth, and they're honouring my spirit in some way, and it was almost like they wanted to join in the conversation. Anyway, it is what it is. But this concludes today's readings of Even Date. It's now 4:12 p.m. This video's gone on for just over 15 minutes. I'm glad I split it up. And yes, while we're here, oh no, I can't because I'm filming on my iPhone. I was going to say, while we're here, I should check. Oh, I could do it this way. I might just check my, how do I get Facebook up? My memories, because I'm suspicious that things have been edited out that shouldn't be edited out, which will enrage me beyond belief. Why can't they find that site? Oh, because bloody internet's down. Oh, for the love of all the gods. Well, I won't worry about it. It's only 3 years missing. It's probably just my usual ramblings about, my bones hurt, my feet hurt, my arthritis hurts. I'm tired. I'm miserable. I want my true loving partner. Whinge, whinge, whine, whine. And in between, interspersed with funny little anecdotes of sweet things that do happen and life-affirming, magical, blessed things that do happen. And holy moly. Is it still filming? That's weird. That's weird, people. Anyway, my phone literally just fell off the back of the desk. Charlie didn't do it because Charlie's over there. Well, anyway, this concludes today's readings of Even Date. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm very, very tired, so I might even go and lie down, have a nap, have a nanny nap. I think I earned my nanny nap after 2 wild nights of dancing. So, pardon me. Blessed be from Sacred Space. Can you see the little Indian minor birds? Charlie's looking at them. And have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum. Stay safe, stay happy, stay wild, stay free and carefree, and live your best life. Enjoy whatever creative outlets that you are inspired by or, enjoy doing. And be at peace and hold your true beloved ones close, friends, family, lovers, partners. Be kind to each other. Life can and will be magnificent, but we've got to regroup and, rebuild after the last desecration of our spirits. So God's bless. Love to all. Bye for now from Tanya Aarons at Sacred Space.